there we go. Welcome to episode 64 of Auto Off Topic. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Brad.
Hey, we had a big weekend, huh?
We did have a big weekend. Yeah, absolutely. It involved traveling as far as we possibly could in the continental United States.
Yep, literally ocean to ocean.
Yes.
Took a little field trip to the West Coast, and we'll get to that. Are there any project car updates? Did you have any?
I don't have any, but I know that you might have one because I remember it specifically.
Yeah, you were there with me. So
I
was. With the WRX, I took you over to pick up your Saab from work. It needed to get back to your house.
Right, because it's been sitting there for like 3 months.
And I was like, cool, I'll show you the new Stage 2 on my Subaru.
Right.
And look at my vape. Look at how I modded it.
Yes. I almost want to buy you a vape for Christmas just as a joke. But they're expensive, so I won't.
So I don't know, it seemed to be kind of fine, I thought. I didn't really realize because on the way home from work, I'm usually in traffic.
Just puttering along.
So I get on the highway and give it the beans a little bit, and I'm like, doesn't seem that fast.
And meanwhile, I'm in the passenger seat going, wow, it feels really good, because my aspect or my sensation of speed has been severely slowed down by driving old Colts.
Definitely, I was in fifth gear. The fifth gear passing power seemed off. I was like, weird.
Yeah, well, I feel all the power was way off given what we found out happened.
Yeah, I'm looking at the mechanical boost gauge. It would just go to 0.
Yep.
And I was like, that's weird.
So it pull vacuum.
Yeah, so it didn't have a boost leak.
And it would go back to 0, so we knew it wasn't leaking.
Yeah, and there's no warning lights or anything, so it's like, darn. So then sure enough, we get to your work, and while we're jump-starting your Saab, I've got the hood up. I just happened to check out because when I did the exhaust, I couldn't put the heat shield back on because the bracket was all rusted, and I got to get a new one.
Okay.
So the top of the turbo is exposed, and I can see it. And sure enough, the wastegate arm, the clip just left. And it's not there anymore, and it popped off of the wastegate.
So the wastegate opens via that arm.
The wastegate is held closed
by the arm.
By the arm with the diaphragm. And then when it hits the right pressure, it opens up. But without it to hold it closed, it just flies right open. It doesn't build boost.
All the time.
Yeah. So I was just driving around, no boost. It actually didn't drive that bad.
No. So what we're learning here is that I would be totally fine riding around in a 2.5 RS.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I thought it was fine. I was like, oh, this thing is so fast.
Yep.
Compared to a 1978 Dodge Colt.
So here's what you do.
So I need to go for riding it now that you fixed it. Because I haven't been in Stage 2 WRX yet.
Yeah. If you've got a younger kid and he wants a WRX, just pull the wastegate off. Don't tell him.
This is a good idea. A couple things will happen with that. He'll get better gas mileage.
I got really good gas mileage for 2 days.
Yeah.
And apparently it's not a cotter pin. It's a C-clip, which is super annoying because
it's bizarre and awful small for that application, I would think.
It's like a 1/4-inch thing.
It just doesn't seem strong enough to do what it's supposed to. Obviously it is because it's done it for 160,000 miles. But
I was super annoyed because cotter pins are really easy to come by and C-clips are not. And then,
especially a specific size C-clip.
Yeah. But then the other day, we had a junk blower motor at work, and we wanted to see what was wrong with it. So I took it all apart. There's a couple of C-clips in there. I was like, those look about the right size.
And a blower motor?
Yeah. And sure enough, they were, with a little bit of prying, it was the right size. So I scavenged those, and I stuck it on when I got home from work today.
Oh, so you haven't driven it yet with the repaired?
No.
So we don't know if the C-clip will hold, if it's the right size or not.
Oh, it's on there pretty tight.
Okay.
So it should be fine now.
I'm going to go take it off.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's awesome.
I mean, it worked for I popped it back on just loosely for the ride home from work Friday.
And it worked for
one
pull?
All the way to my house until I needed to scoot around the rotary, and then it popped off.
So this is actually a good gag to play on your fellow WRX driving competitors.
Yeah, as long as the heat shield's not there, you can get in there and pull it out.
Should go over it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, it should be all set. So that's my project car update.
Excellent. I don't have any updates. The 78 Colt is a flat tire.
Yep.
Which it didn't have when I left for California. When I came back, it did. So
it was kind of cold out, though, so maybe
lost all its air pressure because it was cold out? Like 100%?
Well, I don't know. Did somebody knife it on you?
No, I don't think so, but I probably ran something over on the last drive with it. Because we were only gone for 2 days, and it went from having 36 pounds to having 0 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So I'll have to figure that out.
All right. So let's cover the Petersen first, then, I guess.
Okay.
That sound good?
That was our Sunday in L.A.
Yeah, because anytime I go to L.A., I guess I want to go to the Petersen for the most part.
It's a pretty solid trip.
Yeah. Especially because we were able to... Well, actually, let's say this. A little more than a year ago, we did the very first episode.
Yes.
We talked about my trip to the Petersen and the Vault Tour.
Correct.
And you'd never been on a Vault Tour.
I've never been on the Vault Tour, no.
Well, apparently we lucked out because we didn't pre-buy tickets or anything, and I was hoping they would have Vault Tours. We showed up, and I walked in and asked, I was like, do you have Vault Tours? She's like, yes.
Nice.
And there was one within, like, a half hour of when we got there.
A little longer than that, but yeah, pretty quickly.
And because it was the LA Auto Show weekend, apparently they weren't that busy.
Yeah, everybody's over at the LA Auto Show instead.
Yeah, I guess.
Boring.
Whatever. There was way cooler stuff at the Petersen.
Yes.
We got to do the Vault Tour.
I'm assuming the LA Auto Show is just new cars, like the Boston Auto Show is.
Yeah, it's all new cars.
Yeah.
I mean, they debut stuff because it's a big city.
Lame.
But whatever, I
don't care.
Yeah.
I'll see it on the street next year. It's fine.
So there's no photos allowed in the vault, but we can still talk about what was down there.
Yeah, well, the reason they don't allow photos is not because they're afraid of the cars being photographed, but the guy was talking about how it's one of the most expensive car collections in the world, and they're more concerned about security, so taking pictures of security cameras and lock setups and where things are and entrances and exits and all that stuff. So I get that completely.
Let's see, what... I mean, there's just so much stuff down there that's worth, like...
It's ridiculous. There's like 300 plus cars down there.
Yeah, that's like... It's like millions of dollars of stuff.
Well, what blows my mind is not only does it have the typical stuff you'd expect at a car museum, but they have, like, controversial vehicles.
Yeah.
Like, they bid on and won Saddam Hussein's Mercedes limousine.
Which we talked about that in that episode.
Did we really?
Back when, yeah.
I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And what's his name? Perone. Well, I can't think of his first name. Everybody remembers his wife's name because Ava Perone was famous.
Yeah. Yeah, her car.
Yeah, it was his car, wasn't it?
Whatever, it was their car.
Whatever, but yeah.
Their Mercedes was a 500 SL?
I don't remember the exact car that it was.
It was armored.
Yeah, it was an armored Mercedes.
Yeah.
But I mean, and they have all kinds of presidential cars and Pope mobiles, and I don't know. It's just, to me.
Then there's a bunch of ridiculous race cars.
Yep.
There's an Alpine Renault.
Yep. Which they didn't know the history of yet. The tour guide didn't because it just gotten in the collection, unfortunately. But
next to it was a Dan Gurney car just sitting there.
Yeah, there were two Gurney Eagles like next to each other.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
My favorite car that's down there is which it was upstairs when I visited, was the round door Bugatti.
Yeah, last time I was there, that car was in the main entrance.
Yeah, which is one of the most stunning cars I think ever to see in person.
It is stunning, and it's imposing, and it's large. I'm not a huge fan of it as a car, though.
I like it. I like it as it's sitting. I'm sure it drives like shit. And
well, it's not the fact that it drives like shit or not. It's just, to me, it's too cartoon. Like, it's like the stereotypical Cruella de Vil car. You know what I mean? It just, I don't like it.
I guess
I don't hate it. Let's put it that way. It's cool. It's cool to see. It's cool to look at. I don't choose it as if I had multi-billions of dollars to spend on cars. It wouldn't be one that I would pick.
To me, it's just an art piece. Like, it would just sit there,
definitely
and it looks really cool.
Yeah,
because it's just straight Art Deco, straight out of the 30s.
But in my mind, there are other cars that have that look that you could use.
Yeah, I guess
like a Talbot Lago. Talbot Lago.
Yeah,
I don't know. This it doesn't do much for me.
I liked
A
the
big imposing thing.
the Pininfarina, right? Bodied Corvette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 53 Corvette.
Yeah. Which
Apparently, there's 3 of.
yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, when you put the Italian body on a Corvette,
Always a winner.
yeah, like so much better looking. And then that weird
It's not that a 53 Corvette's a bad looking
No.
car, but it's very American.
was that weird Ferrari that was in there, a Sergio or something?
Yeah, I've never even heard of it before, but it's probably because I don't pay attention to new cars.
I didn't even know it existed either.
No,
so.
I didn't either. And he's talking about it, and
It's super rare.
I was embarrassed because, as a car person, I feel like I should know every Ferrari. And he's asking the tour guides, like, does anybody know what kind of car this is? And I'm standing there, I'm scratching my head because I'd never heard of it before. I mean, again, I pay more attention to old cars, but
Yeah.
I still think I would know of a Ferrari existing, but it doesn't. And he said it belonged to some celebrity who lives in L.A., but he couldn't tell us their name or something. I'm sure I could Google it and figure it out.
Yeah, probably.
But it was definitely cool.
I know.
And I'd like to see the one without the windshield. 'Cause I'm assuming that windshield in that car unbolts.
Yeah.
Because they said that the car was designed without a windshield. And then if you looked at the car, it had a bar that went behind the windshield that looked like it would double as the rollover protection that the windshield took away. So I'm not even sure, but it was a very interesting car. I'm not a modern Ferrari guy by any stretch of the imagination, so it was cool to see, but whatever. It doesn't really do much for me.
Ooh, the concept is not good looking.
Well, apparently the concept is the reason that they built it. Everybody loved it.
No.
Well, whatever. What else is downstairs, Andrew? Anything good? It's Tucker?
The Tucker,
Yep. Preston Tucker's personal car, they're pretty sure.
a couple custom bodied Cadillacs.
That's pretty cool.
None of the Barris cars are cool. Again,
The one Barris car they have there is cool. It wasn't on display.
It wasn't on display, and it wasn't in the vault area where you could see it.
Probably in the back of the vault area.
Yeah.
Which is just the Hirohito Merc, which is like the gold standard of 50 Mercury customs. He did make some nice things. He just made a lot of crap too.
I mean, the hot rods through the decades is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, you can kind of tell when the taste fell off in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. And the tour guy was real funny. He's like, I find some people are really into hot rods, but most people aren't.
Yeah,
so we're
most
just going to
people
go
don't
through
care.
this.
Some people are really into it, but most people don't care, so I'll walk through them fast.
Yeah. So that was kind of funny.
Which I did wish that he stopped and talked a little bit more about the black 32 in the corner.
That one, that was a newer built hot rod?
It was 90s,
Yeah.
but it was built during like the billet era, but it wasn't a billet car.
No. It was a very tasteful car.
There's a name for it too, which I can't.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many things. Like, I mean, there's some Teslas down there, like, whatever. But I see the appeal of having Teslas in that museum, the same as having the Factory 5 car in the Lars Anderson, because they are significant, and they are built in California. So they're trying to showcase stuff that was from California.
Yeah, they brought that up a lot. I'm sure Tesla probably pays them some money too to promote, I would assume.
Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know. There's like definitely, if you go to the Petersen, pay the extra money if you can, if it's available, to take the vault tour. I mean, it's an
100%.
hour and a half, and it is on hard concrete floor. My feet were killing me afterwards.
Well, we also weren't wearing the most comfortable shoes, probably.
And
Because we just came from the big show the day before, which is 80s themed, so we were both wearing chucks.
And it was like the same thing where, I get like that anyways when I'm standing on concrete for an hour straight. It was almost the same thing that happened before, is that like we went right around lunchtime, so by the time the end of the vault tour, you're like starving.
Really hungry.
And you're like, and you just kind of blow through the rest of the museum, unfortunately, but went a little slower.
Thankfully, there's a good burger joint down the street.
Yeah. We went like a little slower on the rest of the museum, because once you go upstairs,
Like the top floor is the biggest floor.
Top floor is like kind of their permanent stuff that's usually there. That stuff was there last year.
Yeah,
I mean, a couple things were moved
it was
around.
there 2 years ago.
But Then like the middle floor, I think, is semi-permanent.
Well, top floor has like the movie cars, so
Yeah.
that's like a major attraction. They have a whole wing dedicated to it.
Which, again, the A car, the DeLorean, was there, which is really cool.
Yeah, 100%.
The Luma Sunshine, Volkswagen was there.
Yep. The Batmobile, the Michael Keaton Batmobile.
Then the little tumbler motorcycle thing was there.
Yep, from the newer Batmans. And then the 1966 Adam West Batman Yamaha motorcycle with sidecar was there.
Yep.
Which is cool because the sidecar is literally a go-kart for Robin.
Yeah.
There was Magnum PI's 308.
Yep.
The Herbie fully loaded Beetle, which I don't care about at all.
Nope. Thelma and Louise Ford. I don't know what that was.
The Thelma and Louise Thunderbird. Yep. That's a blue 66.
I've never seen that movie.
You probably should, because it's kind of a classic at this point. It's not a terrible movie.
I don't know. I haven't
It's
seen it.
definitely one of those movies you just watch just to watch.
Stephanie was like, "Can we watch Christine?" I was like, "You've never seen that?" I was, like,
the Christine car was up
Yeah.
there, one of the prop cars.
I was like, "You can watch it. I've seen it a bunch of times, and it's like, meh.
To be 100% honest, I don't think I've seen the whole movie.
Really?
Yeah, I never could watch the
You're
whole movie.
not missing much."
No, I know. That's why I couldn't. I'd never been able to finish.
I mean, the car gets nicer as the movie goes on.
Nicer looking,
Yeah.
not nicer personality-wise.
No.
It's a pretty mean car.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I have never actually made it through the whole movie just because it's not a
I
very
mean, the
good
beginning of the movie plays "Bad to the Bone," which is the song I literally hate the most ever.
Oh, I can't hate it because of my uncle, but
Yeah. Well, if you want to really annoy me, you can play "Bad to the Bone" for me. So,
duly noted. So, what was upstairs at?
well, of course, is our favorite hot rod ever. Maybe the Illuma Coupe.
Maybe it's not. It's not a good hot rod.
No, it's so 90s. It's painful. Like it is.
Yeah, billet wheels, billet steering wheel, but the billet steering wheel is painted beige to match the leather interior.
Yeah, and then it has. I never knew this until like 2 years ago that it had a Eclipse GST drivetrain in it in the back.
In the back. Yep.
Low. I mean,
Wow, failure.
the hell was that?
Apparently, I clicked the wrong thing. It's an ad for Devour Food on my thing here. Sorry about that.
What's the three-wheeled car? What was that?
Davis.
Davis.
Yeah. No, but we go back to the Illuma Coupe. We learned something about the Illuma Coupe.
Oh,
this
yeah.
time, which we did not know.
Yeah, on the placard, I took a picture of it. It said that it was built as a show car for Mitsubishi Motors.
Right.
Which I didn't know that, but I assume that since the museum put it there, it must be true.
Yeah. No, it has to be.
You shut that off.
Licensing trouble. I was trying to play a joke and play the stupid thing, and an ad came up for food first, and it blew my whole cover. Stupid YouTube ads.
Yeah, the Davis. Then
I hope that came through the speakers, actually. I'm not sure if it did or not.
what was it? What was that little red car? The Ginetta?
Which little red
Italian?
car?
The old Italian red car that was in front of the Illuma Coupe.
Was that the Bosley thing? No, that was the other one.
No, Bosley's cool though.
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, whatever. All right, we'll
Yeah.
skip it because I don't remember it. But then on the other side of the room, there was a Bosley, like a one of one, which kind of looked like a Cunningham,
I thought it was a Cunningham walking up to it.
but it's like
100%.
a cross between like a Cunningham and like a Ferrari,
Yeah, it was a
but
car
it's got a
that
Chrysler Hemi.
the guy who was somewhere in the Midwest, and he wanted to make a race car, like an affordable race car, I guess.
Yeah,
He's made that one, and that was it.
yeah. I mean, it's cool looking.
It's really cool.
And then right across from it was a 2000 GT,
Yeah, which is
which in white, yeah, which are incredibly small in person. Mm-hmm. Like you don't realize how small they are.
they're like a Triumph Spitfire and a fastback. Mm-hmm. Like they're really small.
Yep.
And they're probably, and we discussed this at the museum, like possibly both of our favorite cars of all time.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. It's just something about it. Some people really don't like them, but I don't know.
I don't know who couldn't like that car.
I like it better than. I know it's inspired by like an E-Type. I like it better than E-Type for some reason.
It's a cleaner design, I think, than the E-Type.
See, some people would argue with you that it's not because it has all those weird extra lights and doors on it.
But they were all functional.
I guess.
Everything in the car was there for a reason. I don't know. I just maybe it's because the E-Type is almost common.
Yeah.
And the 2000 GT is now a legit $900,000 car. So
then you go down the second floor. There was like a couple of Ken Block's Fiesta.
Yeah, which I was walking by. I was like, it's kind of cool. Well, I'd rather see him racing.
Yeah, I've seen the things run Forest Rally so many times.
Yeah,
I don't need to go look at it. I've been up close to him before.
These clean cars parked in a museum. Don't care.
Yeah. They replaced the silver room with a Ferrari room, apparently.
That was awesome.
Yeah, there was a lot of money in that room.
Yep, the 57 Testarossa, the 250 GTO, the 1948 122, was the number it was?
I don't remember.
It was the first production Ferrari after he rebuilt the factories because they were bombed by the Allied forces in World War II. It was really cool to see that car out on display. I'd never seen one of those in person before. I've seen all the other stuff. I'd seen the GTO. I'd seen Testarossa. I'd seen the 166 Le Mans. I'd seen, the F1 car. They had like a Michael Schumacher style F1 car. They had was it Alan Prost?
No, Niki Lauda.
Niki Lauda Ferrari. That's what it was.
Yep.
Right? Yeah,
then they had
like
the
1976 Ferrari.
The 250 GTO short wheelbase California.
The convertible.
Basically, the Ferris
Bueller car, yep.
But not, which was a replica. But exactly. It is that is iconic from that.
It's the real version of that car.
Yeah, so that was really cool. Then apparently they actually announced this on Instagram page like the other day.
I wanted to be the one to bring it up to people that didn't get the tour.
No, so
but we did not.
They are replacing the Ferrari room with a Porsche room,
which is cool.
Yeah, because right outside of it they had a 962 Jägermeister car.
Which I'm sure is going in that Porsche room.
So that's pretty cool.
Which is kind of different because it used to be the silver room.
Yeah. And
then it went to the Ferrari room, so it's all red.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the Porsche room won't be any one color. It'll just be themed by car. So. But it'll be cool.
Across from that, they had a bunch of Dan Gurney cars, a whole exhibit dedicated to Dan Gurney because he's local.
All American racers.
And
my favorite one though was the 71 Barracuda.
Yeah,
by far, the AAR Cuda, the purpley blue color one.
The prototype was the Eagle car.
Which one?
Which one? The 99, the GTP?
Big Toyota.
Yeah, the Toyota,
the GTP car. I don't remember the 99C or something like that they called it. I don't remember what it was. It was a prototype style GTP car, which is absolutely enormous.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big they were watching them on television. Or even watching them, because I saw GTP cars, not that particular one, but other cars in that class running at the
Eagle Mark III.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's an Eagle chassis and body with a Toyota
1991 to 1993. Won 21 of 27 races in which was entered.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that car's really cool.
I believe it has the racetrack record at
Lime Rock?
Lime Rock, yeah. I think
it does too. But they also had Dan Gurney's prototype motorcycle in the middle of the room, which kind of looked like a scooter with a big sport bike motor on it. It was kind of weird. They call it the Alligator, I think, or Agitator, or Alligator, one or the other. And they had a couple of his 70s Indy car, F1 cars. It's cool. It's a cool display. Last time I was there, that room was all Porsche race cars.
Yes.
So I had like the Apple 935 and some other cool stuff in there then. But I can't think of any other cars of note that were in the museum. Oh, the lowrider display was cool too. They had the Gypsy Rose.
Oh yeah, all the lowriders.
Yeah, the whole entryway was all filled with lowriders. They had the Gypsy Rose, which is like the world's most famous lowrider. It was featured in Chico and the Man, the TV show.
Yeah.
And it kind of brought lowriding to the mainstream. And actually, I watched a documentary about it, and the guy who built it was the founder of the car club, the Imperials, which was a big, like Long Beach, LA car club. And they were like a positive car club because I guess a lot of the low-riding car clubs had a bunch of like gang members that were like hang-arounds. And they started getting into trouble. And they were a car club that like turned that around.
Yeah.
And in fact, the reason that car was a replica of the original Gypsy Rose is because the gang contingent that was hanging around the car clubs was so angry at them for not allowing them to come to their car show because they were gang members that they came back later in the day with like baseball bats and golf clubs and destroyed the original one. So that's the reason that was a replica of it, which they built in period. It wasn't like a replica built in 2012. It was built in like 75 or 76.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And I guess he was just a really well-known, like, really good guy that, like, he brought a lot of people out of crime and into good.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, before we get too far, the Gurney exhibit was upstairs, and I noticed there was a Gurney car in the vault. It was missing the spoiler. I was like, oh, maybe that's because people were bumping into it. It's a giant spoiler.
Okay.
When we were upstairs in the exhibit, the spoiler was mounted on a display to show off the Gurney flap.
Yep.
And I was like, that makes sense now that the car was missing the spoiler down in the basement.
Also makes sense why it was in the basement instead of on display in the Gurney room.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't pick that up until you just said that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, I was paying attention.
I thought I was too. I guess I was not.
Let's see. Anything else?
The next day, the day before, I should say.
What were those? What was McLaren's?
MP 412C.
I don't know. They were rock carbon, and they were ridiculous looking.
Yeah, one was a regular.
One was the hybrid. One was a regular.
Yeah, one was a hybrid. Yeah, a regular. That's what we call them now?
Yeah.
A standard gasoline-powered car.
Yeah.
And a hybrid car.
A fossil fuel-powered supercar.
Yes, and a hybrid supercar.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what model they are, because, I don't know modern vehicles.
They're one of the best-looking supercars.
I did notice that the new Ford GT was missing.
Oh, yeah.
In the vault tour, he told us to look at it. We got upstairs, because parked next to the original Mark I GT40.
Yep.
And we got up there, and the Mark I GT40 was sitting there, and next to it was a big open parking spot.
Yeah. What was that little, the little blue hot rod, the Roadster?
Oh, I don't remember the name of it. It was just
it was like the first. No, it was like the first American Roadster award-winning car or something.
Oh, America's Most Beautiful Roadster.
Yeah,
possibly.
It was cool.
America's Most Beautiful Roadster has crowned some pretty ugly cars in it today, though.
Yeah,
so.
But that one was like cool because it was like functional.
Yeah,
it was in the early days of hot rodding. Kind of like that original one that was on the top floor.
The black one. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. So, anyway, Peterson's definitely one of my favorite places ever.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No question. But the important thing that we should talk about this week is what we did the day before. And the reason
I don't remember that.
The reason we were in California in the first place.
Yeah. That was
Radwood 2.
Radwood 2.
Unofficially, Radwood 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Okay.
It's fun to say it, that's all.
Yeah, that it met all my expectations.
Met or exceeded?
It definitely met them and probably exceeded them.
I would say exceeded, like no question at all. Like I expected to go to a car show, hang out for a little while, and that'd be it. But I mean, honestly, I don't even remember half the cars that were there because I had so much fun doing other like things there.
I missed cars because I wasn't.
I'm seeing pictures. I'm like, that car wasn't there. What are you talking about? That car was there.
I missed stuff. Even just walking, because there's so much going on. I had like sensory overload.
100%.
Like, so the organizers from Driving Well Awesome, Cam to Tub, Clutch Kick Podcast, they put like so much work into this, and they had sponsors help with costs. And I think they had a strong feeling it was going to go well, and it totally did.
I think it blew their minds too.
Yeah.
And like we were talking to some of them afterwards.
I kind of like. I didn't want to say anything beforehand. I was like, I knew it was going to be like real big. Like there's something.
Yeah. Well, we've been hearing about it everywhere.
Yeah. And
I brought it up to people that I know for a fact are not podcast listeners. And then they'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing next week?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to Radwood," and they knew what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. And I said to a couple of people like that were into cars, and they're around our age, and I was like, "I'm going to an '80s and '90s car show." They're like, "Oh, I'd be into that."
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really cool. And then talk to some older people like, "Oh, I'm going to an '80s '90s car show," and they'd be like, "Oh, we go to the mall."
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut up.
But so anyway, the people that showed up were really into it.
Yeah, I was amazed at the take rate or the amount of people that went with period dress in some form or another. Not everybody went all out, but everybody at least wore like an old T-shirt or an old hat.
It's because it's the real first like big one. You're like not sure.
Oh yeah,
like
exactly.
do I go all out or do I just kind of play it cool? Because you don't want to be the person that shows up
to the costume party without a costume party.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there was 2 people dressed up like Rodney Dangerfield, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. And then there was 2 guys showed up at an NSX, and they were dressed like
Wayne and Garth.
Wayne and Garth. There were 2 dudes walking around dressed like Bill and Ted.
Yep,
and they nailed it.
Yeah,
like the Wayne and Garth were good. The Bill and Ted were perfect.
Yep,
like absolutely perfect.
So just like anything, like if you showed up to have a good time, you were going to have a good time.
Oh, 100%.
My outfit, totally not cool enough.
No, it worked though. It was definitely period correct.
Yeah. It was kind of lame, but I could have gone.
It was
way
more
better.
than other people, but less than some.
Yeah.
So you were solid middle of the road.
Yeah.
As far as your Radwood outfit went, I feel the same way with my outfit. I was solid middle of the road.
Yeah.
I mean, we were upstaged by our lady friends that were with us.
Yeah.
So it's between your wife and my friend, they were we were very upstaged just by our own company.
I didn't even see everything while walking around, and I walked around all day.
Yeah, I missed tons of stuff.
I shot a bunch of photos, and they probably came out okay. But
I haven't even looked
there
at
was
mine
just
yet.
so much going on, and it was my first West Coast show, and it was so different than any show I've ever been to. Like,
First West Coast show or not, this show just changes the game as far as car shows
I
go.
literally didn't have the focus to take good photos. I think I just was like too much going on.
Yeah, there was a lot to see.
Yeah.
And a lot of people to meet. It was
Yeah.
like overload of people to meet.
Yeah, I apologize to anybody that we didn't get to meet.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, you don't realize, you're like, shit, I know who you are, but I don't really know what you look like.
Yep, exactly. And it's funny because, you bring up the 3 podcasts that put the show on, and we know a few of them through the internet, and then we met all of them while we were there. So we, just off the bat, there's like 7 or 8 people that we knew we were going to meet.
Yeah.
And there's 7 or 8 new people that we're trying to remember exactly faces and names and all that stuff.
Yeah.
On top of everybody else that's going to introduce themselves during the show.
Yeah.
And the celebrities that were there, like car celebrities were there.
Yeah, and I was trying not to be like super awkward, and I kind of didn't introduce myself to everyone because I get like anxious. Like
well,
that,
it's hard
so.
at first too. If somebody, it's just a.
I'm like, I recognize that person. I should go introduce myself.
There's so
But I was
many
like,
people.
that seems so weird if I go do that. But maybe it's not weird. I don't know.
Well,
I get weird like that.
I'm not quite as bad as you in that case, and I introduced myself to as many people as I could. And by the end of the day, I had shaken the hand of way too many people. Maybe that's why I was sick the following day. I don't know, but it was cool. It was cool to meet people that you watch on TV or you watch on YouTube or
Yeah, Matt Farrow was wandering around.
yeah. I walked up to him, shook his hand, and I basically said to him, I got a ride in your car here this morning, so that's cool. And all my belongings are in your car, so if you see me rummaging around your Lexus, it's totally cool. That's why. So, yeah, he was cool. By the end of the day, I did finally run into Wheeler Dealers.
Oh, you did see him?
Yeah, I did see him. I said hi to him. That was cool. They were all such like down-to-earth people. Like, you walk out to them, introduce yourself, shake your hand.
Hold out your hand.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't do that, but I don't know. It was really cool. And all the things that I admire during the regular humdrum daily life, like I always watch Matt Farrow's Smoking Tire videos and listen to his podcast.
Yeah.
And I always watch Wheeler Dealers, and I watch everything Roadkill does. And Alana from Roadkill was there taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I got to meet her, and it's just like most people wouldn't care to meet these journalists or, these personalities, but if you're a car person, that's what you're into, it's cool to meet these people that you admire.
Yeah, I mean, I like right at the end of the day, like we saw Larry Chen.
Yep, yeah,
and
Larry Chen.
I kind of wish I'd walked over a few minutes earlier because I would have liked to had meet him, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I was introduced to him because
That's the only thing I regret is I wasn't outgoing enough, but that's the way I am.
Yeah, I met
unfortunately.
Larry Chen, and I was fortunate to be introduced to him through Ben, who runs Japanese Nostalgia Car, who I've known now for a few years.
Yeah, I did get to finally meet Ben, which is cool.
Yeah, he's a real cool guy. Owns a real cool company and really promotes the vintage Japanese car scene.
And then
Patrick Strong, who runs Model Citizen Diecast.
He was super nice.
Wicked nice guy.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't have been nicer.
The people from Hunziker.
Oh, yeah, Nick Hunziker. I
didn't really
I don't remember
I didn't really get
her name.
Heather.
Heather, okay, yep.
Mostly talked to Heather. I didn't get to talk to Nicholas. He seemed kind of busy, and then
Yeah, he was really busy. Durafast Nation, the video guys were there.
Yeah, I didn't really talk to them, but
there.
I didn't see the Petrolicious people. I don't know what they look like.
Everybody that writes for Jalopnik was there.
Yeah, didn't really recognize them. But
I didn't really recognize them by face
I
either.
recognized Andrew P. Collins because he had the Torino ZX, but that was about it.
Right, and then after
I did recognize Jeff Glucker from the Hooniverse.
Yep.
He was dressed in a very New England yuppie attire.
Yes, he was.
And again, I probably should have went up and said hi, but I was just like
overload.
Yeah,
there's nothing else you could say about it.
Apparently, we talked to people from Mazda. I didn't realize those were
people wearing the Mazda shirts actually work for Mazda.
Big deal, Mazda people.
Yeah. Well, what I thought was cool was they had their shirts made up for Radwood, and their old slogan used to be "Keep driving awesome" or something like that, or "Keep driving exciting" or something along those lines. And they made these shirts that said Mazda "Keep driving rad."
Yeah.
Like they looked like official Mazda shirts.
Ridiculously rare cars.
They brought 4 cars from like their own personal vault. One of my personal favorites is the 92 first gen Miata hardtop.
Yeah.
Like coupe.
Yep.
Like it looks like
one of one.
Yeah, it looks like an FD-RX-7 roof grafted onto a Miata. And yeah, it's the only one they ever made.
The Unis.
And they literally drove it to the show.
Yeah. The Unos. Cosmo.
Yep,
Yeah. I didn't really even look at that. I don't know. There's so much going on.
Yeah, there was a lot going on. I didn't pay enough attention to any of the cars because I was too busy talking to people and walking around. And
unlike most car shows where I don't want to talk to anyone because
they're all lame. Everybody here was awesome. Like everybody was so down and so into it. And we met some of West Coast DSM guys. We met Tony Bird.
Yep.
We've known him now for a little bit of time just because of the internet.
Like a week, and we were just talking to him.
Yeah, he was a totally cool guy. Anybody who doesn't know, that car was on
One Take.
That was Smoking Tire One Take.
Yep.
And the joke ad campaign they made for the Drug Eclipse.
Yep.
That was the car featured in that joke ad.
Oh, cool.
So, and the car is super clean, and he totally downplays it because it's his car and he's a humble dude.
Yeah.
But it's one of the cleanest first gen DSMs I've ever laid eyes on.
There's 2 beautiful Delicas.
2 or 3 Delicas?
There's 2.
2 Delicas? Okay.
There's the Stanceworks Montero's there.
Yep. Andrew from Stanceworks.
There's
and the other Stanceworks car, the E28 with the Motul livery on it. Amazing. Parked next to the Jägermeister E36, which was also amazing.
Yep.
Which was then parked next to the car with the Boston connection.
Yeah.
The first gen CRX, which is still with its original owner. That was bought in Honda Cars of Everett, I think.
Yeah, there's a Petrolicious episode on it.
Yep. Yeah, there is. Met him, wicked cool guy. Sorry, I don't remember his name, unfortunately.
Yeah, I followed him on Instagram with our account.
Yeah, but he's
something Green Car, Chris Green Car.
Is that
username?
Okay? That's okay. Excellent. Yeah. He actually commented on the picture, the Jalopnik picture that Naomi got put up on as well.
Okay.
So, that's really cool, that car. And it's got a cool Boston connection because he bought it brand new here, and he had it for its first 2 years of life here in Boston.
Yep.
But he did have a winter car as well, so it's never seen like a salt winter, which is obvious when you look at the car. And it has a bunch of factory accessories, and it's a really cool looking car. There was another first gen CRX that was beautiful that the guy actually bought to go to the show with.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Apparently, I had already followed him on Instagram. His name's Randy.
Yeah, he's usually into Volkswagens.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal too. I didn't recognize him at first.
He runs an air cooled Volkswagen show, I guess, at the same location.
West Coast is awesome. Car culture is very strong there.
I mean, it's
and
fun.
Deep.
Now, I have this whole other take on that too because it's just different. Because listening to a couple of the other podcasts after the show, they've talked about how they haven't seen a nice third gen Firebird Camaro in like forever. But out here, they're common. because out there they were driven all the time and just worn out and thrown away.
Yeah.
Whereas out here, a car like that was bought, used in the summertime, and parked for the winter.
Most of the time,
we have a bunch of cars like that left out here. So if you go to any cruise night, any night of the week here in the Boston area, you're going to see a bunch of third-gen Camaros and Firebirds. You're going to see a bunch of G-body Cutlasses.
There's a lot of nice
Monte Carlos.
There's a lot of nice Fox bodies around
of Fox
here.
body Mustangs, and they were all blown away by the Fox bodies.
Yeah.
So that's kind of strange. It's a different dynamic on each side of the country, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We have tons of nice cars here, but we just never see them in that kind of a setting. So, C4 Corvettes out here are like every other garage on Main Street has one in it. You know what I mean? They're just very common.
Yeah, I guess.
Whereas out there, you get a car that you can drive all year round, and it gets 300,000 miles on it, and thrown in a junkyard.
Yep.
Whereas around here, they get 30,000 miles on them, and they never get driven. So I think it's just a different vibe. I think the car culture out there is stronger, obviously.
Obviously, because you have... It's like year-round.
Weather.
It's year-round. It's literally... Aside from, unfortunately, a day after we left, Los Angeles caught fire.
Yeah, it's burning to the ground as we
which
speak.
They were
horribly sad.
They were looking for. They were like on the news. They're like, "Is it going to rain?" Like,
yeah, they needed rain for sure.
Yeah. So,
unfortunately, they did not get it.
That's kind of a bummer.
And unfortunately, the sad news from Radwood is that one of the cars that was there unfortunately burned as well.
It wasn't.
I don't think it was part of the fire.
No, it wasn't. It was a standalone fire.
Yeah,
it was really weird. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so afterwards we got to hang out with the other podcasts. They were very nice.
Yeah, they invited us back to hang out at their party, which is awesome.
I guess if we had gotten there a little bit earlier, we probably could have been on longer, but we're there like the last 10 minutes of the episode.
Yeah, and it was a little awkward because we were kind of standing there with microphones, couldn't hear what was going on, so we apologize for derailing your podcast at the end of it.
No, I listened to the whole thing. It wasn't...
No, it wasn't that bad. I listened as well. I wanted to give out a special thanks to them for definitely inviting us and having us hang out with them.
Yeah.
It was really cool talking to everybody.
I got to help Brian fix the ZR Nun.
Yep, which is kind of cool. Because I love that story more than any other story I've ever heard in a podcast, the story of him buying that car.
Yeah.
So I mean... cool to put your hands on it and work on it a little bit.
I mean, honestly, it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
It doesn't look nice.
I guess it's West Coast bad.
It's not pretty, but... I mean...
That's what you want in a car like that. That's C4 I want. I want a crappy C4 that runs good, that I can just beat the crap out of and not care.
I don't know if it runs good either. Like, it needs work. It's like... It's like when I bought the Montero from the permanent campground.
Yes.
Like...
Well, he bought it from the same kind of an owner, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody who didn't know enough about things to do things, but did them anyway.
Yeah. I think as far as listeners go, I think, Dave LC2
Yep.
met us.
Yeah, he did. Him and his wife. Really nice people.
That was super cool.
Talked to them for a few minutes. Wish he had more time, but...
He's got a bunch of cool... he took photos of the film camera.
Yes.
So
old expired film.
Yeah, I'm gonna share those. I plan on doing that.
I love Dave's vehicle. I know you don't like it, but it's established already why you don't like it. It's not because it's Dave's. It's just your aversion to El Caminos.
I don't like El Caminos.
But Dave has a really rad El Camino with
I may not have taken any pictures of it.
With a 3.8 turbo Buick in it, which is cool.
Okay, all right.
That's very cool.
It's different.
It's cool is what it is.
Oh, there was two Mighty Maxes there.
Yeah, first gen and the second gen. And the first gen was a turbo diesel as well.
Yeah, the first gen was gorgeous. It had great patina on it.
Yep. Yeah, by gorgeous you mean it was like beat just enough. The second gen was gorgeous.
I said it had great patina on it.
The second gen was gorgeous. It was like a mint. It had great
California patina.
Yeah, it did. I would leave it as is and just drive it.
That giant Dodge Dually with the 5.9 Cummins in it.
Yeah, the white one.
Oh my God, that was beautiful, so cool.
Truck. Yeah, it had better chrome on the nose of that truck than I've seen on like some restored 57 Chevys.
The Baja Volvo that I've seen on Instagram.
Yes, yep.
There's a ton of Porsches. I was like, yep, whatever, Porsche.
Tons of Porsches. Oh, then,
it's just Southern California. You just see them everywhere.
But the orange slant nose. Bisimoto. I met Bisimoto. I shook his hand.
I didn't even know where that car was parked. I missed that car.
He wasn't there very long. It was parked over by the electric 308 and the electric Fiat.
Yeah.
It was over in that section.
Okay.
But the dude rolled in, and I was like, man, that car is really cool. It's like a burnt orange.
It was huge, like a cab.
Yeah, it was a burnt orange slant nose cab. And it had huge, like, deep dish BBS, probably actual BBS,
No, they were
style
Gaudis.
wheels. Well, the Gaudis, you're right, 5-spoke Gaudis with like sticky Toyo race rubber on it. And I was like, that is a lot
There was
of
a ton
tire.
of cars with really nice tires on them.
Yeah, I was like, that's a lot of tire for a mid-'80s Porsche.
Yeah.
And then as you rolled in, I saw it was Bisimoto, and everything he owns is like 1,200 horsepower.
So I didn't really know who he
is.
is.
So look him up online.
Okay.
I think he has the record for naturally aspirated Honda motors,
Oh, okay.
but he also owns that 1,200 horsepower minivan, the maroon one,
Okay.
Honda Odyssey van. No, the Hot Wheels Honda Odyssey minivan
Okay.
is his van.
Okay.
And he has the twin turbo Aqua Blue 930 that was on Seam a few years ago. That makes like 1,500 horsepower.
Sure.
He's just a mad genius when it comes to making power, and he's a super nice guy. He's known as one of the nicest guys in the industry, and he's got just a very distinctive voice. And you hear him talking, you know who he is immediately.
All right.
But a really cool guy, and the car was amazing. So
There was, I think it kind of flew under the radar there. There was a Q45.
there was
Like
a
a
clean Q45.
facelifted one.
Yep.
So not the belt buckle, but still a first-gen
Yeah,
facelift.
the full grill in it.
45,000 miles on it. Black.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Mint.
Yeah, I want a belt buckle grill one, but it's a cool car either way.
Yeah.
There were 2 Acura Legends with 5 speeds
Yeah.
or 6 speeds, whatever they had in them.
One had 500,000 miles on it.
Right, and it still looks beautiful.
There was a Mazda with the MX-3 with the little V6.
The 1.9 liter
Yeah.
V6. Yeah, that was cool.
There's a couple of they're Cosworths. The
Yeah.
Mercedes, the 190E.
The 190E Cosworths,
And there was a couple Cosworth Escorts,
which is
like
amazing.
2,
Yep.
which
The four-wheel drive ones.
I never realized until you're standing next to it how much the front fender boxes out and has the opening vent in it.
Yeah, it's a really big box flare on them.
The Renault R5 Turbo,
Yep.
which is ridiculous
3 Peugeots.
because wasn't the original version of that car front engined, and then it gets
The original version was front engine, front wheel drive.
Yeah.
And then they did a front engine, front drive turbo. And then it was like, Group
We need
E,
Group B
all
car.
bets are off.
Yeah.
Let's move this engine into the back and make it really wide.
There was a couple Peugeots, a couple Renaults.
There were 3 Peugeots, which is crazy.
There was a beautiful first gen Taurus SHO.
SHO, an early SHO too,
Yeah.
not the facelifted car.
Yeah, tan. It was like
It was very
beige.
very unassuming vehicle.
So that was the cool thing that you had, unique to exotic.
Yeah, the 45,000 mile Chrysler New Yorker 2.2 turbo.
I didn't even look at that. Like I totally breezed by it.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
The other thing was, well, I guess that sort of gets to. Oh, so before we get to this, like, there's also a caricature artist there.
Yep, he was really cool.
Yeah, he was super cool. He did one of Stephanie and I.
It's awesome.
Yep.
He did one. He came to the after party as well and was drawing them up everybody there.
Yeah.
which was really cool.
Yep. But so back to the show. But let's do. What was your favorite Euro car?
I have a hard time with this.
Okay.
I mean, I was in such, like you said, sensory overload that it's hard to remember all the cars that were there.
Yeah.
I would say top of my head without thinking about it too hard. I know you said you ignored all the Porsches, but there was that 89 Speedster,
Oh yeah.
which might have been my favorite Euro car of the show.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I love
That's a real good
I
one.
love that body style Speedster. It's just so ridiculous. It makes absolutely zero sense as a car, but I love them.
I liked the. It was very basic. It was a white 4-door 240
Of course.
with Hellas on it.
Okay.
It was super clean looking.
Okay.
I'll go with that because it's easy. It's different.
I preferred the yellow 240 with the 1552.
I wanted something more period.
Okay.
I appreciated that car,
Yeah, the car was cool.
but the 1552.
You know what wasn't there, which I wish was there? A bunch of XR4 Ti's.
Yeah.
I really like those cars. And I feel like I'm going to need to own one soon.
So, what was your favorite American car there? Because you missed that LTD.
I did see it after the fact.
Yeah.
And I've seen it somewhere else.
And I
before.
even missed the fastback white LX Fox body.
I didn't see it at
with
all.
white pony. Yeah.
I saw it later on in pictures.
Maybe because I'm so used to them, I just like breezed right by it.
Yeah, I guess it was really clean, though.
Yeah.
What was your favorite American car? And I'll try to think of what was. Oh, I know what mine was. The Burgundy GTA inside.
Okay.
Because you don't see clean GTAs as much as you see regular Firebirds and Trans Ams, and it's my favorite color combo, the burgundy over tan. Scratch that, the S10, obviously. Okay, we have to put the S10 in there. I don't know, there were so many goddamn cars.
Oh, yeah.
That Dodge Ram was amazing. Like,
oh yeah.
All three, the Dodge Ram van was really cool.
Dodge Ram van.
Yeah, it was an '84 Caravan panel van, all windows, and they called it a mini Ram.
Oh,
yeah. Even
those
was
were
cool.
like older people showed up in that. Like they were into it.
They had two cars apparently there.
Yeah,
I forget what the other car was.
I gotta go with the green C4.
Green C4.
I really like the late C4s in that hunter green they had.
See, now if I was going to pick a C4 from the show, I'd have picked the red convertible because it had a hard top, and it kind of was a strange
red convertible.
Look to it. Yeah, there was red convertible with a fiberglass hard top. Obviously, fiberglass Corvette.
Oh, I missed that car too.
Yeah, but it was cool because it has like the notch back look of a newer Z06,
weird.
But on an older car.
Wow. And favorite Japanese car?
I couldn't. There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
The Miata Coupe, the blue AE86 that was parked next to it.
Oh yeah.
Or the aqua blue MR2 that you used.
You
used for the question post.
Yeah, I did like that one
because the color and the car and everything was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hard to go past.
All
but
right.
I mean, I think rest in peace, Mitsubishi Galant. I'll have to say that as a.
So best of show.
You go first. I didn't think of this question.
I went with the Testarossa.
The gray over red.
Because I'd never seen gray over red car ever. Like
Not
anywhere, even in pictures.
It had a door ding on it though. I can't give it first place.
It's a driver-ready Testarossa. Like
I'm kidding. It was awesome.
He clearly used it, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Because I've only seen red on tan, white on red, black on tan, and black on red.
Yeah, I can't think of any other colors.
And he seems like a younger person, which was cool. And they showed up, him and his wife or girlfriend, like totally dressed the part. Like,
100%.
Like they look like yuppie jerks.
Yep.
And it was awesome.
100%.
And I was watching him, like he was like totally cool. He was like showing people the car, like showing how the doors open and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like not stuffy about it at all.
No, he was letting people sit in the car, and he was definitely cool about it.
Yeah.
That's definitely up there.
Yeah.
I really don't know what the best of show would be without giving it back to that Porsche. Actually, the other Testarossa, there were two Testarosas there, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The other Testarossa was really cool too because it was typical red over beige.
Yeah. Oh, but
it had centerline alloy wheels on it, like the same wheels that some guy here in PBD has on his C4. Like it was a little ridiculous to have centerlines on it. But yeah, as far as best of show, I mean, there's just so many cars to choose from. It's really hard to pick one.
All right, well, then don't.
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I just don't know. I really like Jason Camisa's E30 touring wagon. That was beautiful too.
Oh,
the Stanceworks E28.
Okay,
with the Motul livery is my car of the show.
And then there was there's also BMX Flat Landing or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Flatland.
Flatland? Yeah.
No ramps or anything like that. Just all tricks done on the flat ground.
God, that was so cool.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that dude, the older dude that was doing it, has been doing it since the late 70s, early 80s.
He was a champion in the 80s.
Yeah. So he's got to be 55.
Yeah.
And he's still out there performing these crazy bike tricks like he's 17.
I've never actually seen somebody do it who's really good at it.
I've seen it on TV, like the X Games. Never seen it in person.
Yeah.
But the other kid that was doing it, whose name is escaping me right now, the younger guy that was doing it, when he would put the bike on the back tire and he'd pirouette like a friggin' ballerina.
Yeah.
It was like an ice skater, I should say.
Well, the other guy was Martin Aparicio.
Aparicio,
yeah.
But the other guy, like you said, he puts the bike on the back tire and he pirouettes it like an ice skater.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you even learn something like that? It's just ridiculous.
I don't know. I can barely ride a bicycle, so.
Well, I can definitely ride a bicycle, but just not like that.
No.
I can do one flatland trick, usually by accident, by pulling the front brake too hard.
And then I was super excited when I was there and I spotted a Galant VR4. I was like, yes, there's one here because I couldn't bring mine.
Right.
And it turned
was gorgeous. Still the 4-lug.
Yep. It was 1607 to 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for the owner. I couldn't find him. I didn't get to talk to him all day. very, very clean. Had sunroof. It was really stock looking under the hood. Had a bunch of stuff that mine is still missing.
It reminded me a lot of your car because it was stock looking, still 4-lug, had aftermarket wheels.
Yeah.
Had like a very similar stereo setup.
Yep.
It was like a stock car that had been lightly personalized.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is how I like those cars.
And that's why I liked it so much. And like even I could tell underneath, like it still had OEM style radiator hoses.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had OEM replacement ones, but they weren't the original style looking ones with that golf ball
texture to
them.
Yep.
Which my Talon still has. So those are really friggin' old.
Yeah.
It had all the right stuff. It had that little there's like this little flapper door thing that goes behind the passenger side headlight. That's like an air intake.
Okay.
And mine is missing that.
Wow, you're going super obscure parts now.
Now I want to go find it because it belongs there and it's missing. And there's probably people doing part outs and I can find it. But so the worst part about this story is that the guy returned home from Radwood. He parked his VR4 in the garage with his other collector cars.
Yeah, 5 cars together.
Yeah, because he's not only is he into going out VR4s, he's into collector cars because he just loves cars. Mm-hmm. And something happened, and the garage caught fire. And luckily, the people in the house got out all right.
Yeah.
But the entire garage just burned to the ground.
Total loss.
And it's super sad because the Glant was gone, and then he had a Mercedes. Was it 230 SL or something?
I'm not sure what. I know it was an SL convertible.
It'd been in his family for 50 years.
Yeah, I guess he was brought home from the hospital in it.
Yeah.
Like that's like
there's a Petrolicious article on it.
That's a story you just can't
Yeah.
You can't fix that. Like that's gone forever. It's not like everybody will say, "Oh, nobody was hurt." You know, you can replace cars, but you can't replace that car.
Well, there's, everything's got a monetary value. They are just cars, but it's the sentimental value of them, and that's why you have them.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was a total bummer to hear that. Because I actually posted an Instagram post. I didn't even know this had happened. I was like looking for the owner.
Yeah, you posted the car, and somebody was like, "Look at the first thread on the GallantVR4.org." I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah. So, anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But hey,
really
Radwood was awesome.
It was awesome.
Cannot wait for the next event we get to go to. Mm-hmm. There's rumor mills and discussions of all kinds of things coming up. So let's fingers crossed and hope there's going to be some more good ones. There is another smaller one happening in March. That's more of like a promotion.
Northern California.
It's more of like a promotional event, I think.
Yeah, with Lemons, the Lemons race.
Yeah, they're going to do it at the Lemons event. So it'll probably be less intense because people aren't going to go as dressed up, probably.
I don't know.
Because it's going to be part of a multi-car, multi-themed event weekend.
Yep.
So that, and hopefully for them it's huge again, but I don't think it's going to be as big. But if you're in the NorCal area in that weekend in March, which I don't know what weekend it is, so I probably shouldn't be promoting it. But sometime in March, look it up.
Yeah, good job.
Go to radwood.co and look it up.
Yeah. There's all the gear there, too, if you want to buy T-shirts, because I know they sold out.
Yeah, they did sell. I didn't even get one there. I have to order some.
Mm-hmm.
HooptyCon, March 24th, 2018.
Cool. Let's see. This weekend, Wolf Chase Rallycross. Last Rallycross of the NER season.
So quickly off of Radwood.
Yep. Because it's going to be totally different than what I did last week.
I'm not going to.
Because it's going to be cold, and maybe there's going to be some snow, because it's in Vermont.
I have to, unfortunately, pack my house to move. To sell my house, I should say.
It'll be a blast. 100% different than last weekend.
Not unfortunately that I'm selling my house, but unfortunately I can't go to the Rallycross because I'm doing real life things.
Yeah. Well, it's real. It's just not.
Well, I mean, like not car life. Things,
you're doing adult responsibility things.
Right. Like I'm selling my house, so I have to make it presentable as a sale, so I can't go play with cars. Which means that next weekend I'll probably also not have a project car update for anybody.
That's fine.
Because I'm a lame-o.
I need to send out some stickers.
Yes, I had to send some stickers as well.
I don't know if I'll have time to do that tonight. Well, we can talk about this off air.
Well, it's already 10 o'clock at night, so probably not.
Oh, it is. Okay, look at that. So something important. If you like our podcast, please go on Facebook and like our page and set it to see updates first for our page. Otherwise, we get beat by Facebook algorithms and nobody will see our posts. If you want to ask questions, it makes it easier to see those posts. What else? Oh, the contest is over.
Technically. We haven't looked at things yet, though.
I haven't looked at any entries yet because we've been so busy.
I have unopened ones at my house that came in the mail.
Okay. So
looked at 'em yet.
let's do the judging this week
Okay.
before they record the next.
So you have until next Wednesday night?
No. if they're in, they're in. Oh, whatever.
Again, if it comes in, I won't tell Andrew.
So,
Because I do... And let's put it this way. I have so many prizes that everybody who entered gets something.
okay. All right. Fair enough.
So, and
Fair
I still
enough.
have more to go. If more people want to enter, there's more cool Mitsubishi swag and T-shirts to give out.
All right.
Because Mitsubishi Motors of North America
Yeah.
really stepped up to the plate and sent me
Okay.
this huge box of stuff that I have to give out. And I could easily give out more, so send in some more.
All right. Well,
It's not that people weren't interested. It's just we got way more prizes than we expected.
so the podcast is on. If you're already listening to us, you probably know, but some people have asked for Stitcher.
It is now on
So I
Stitcher.
added it to Stitcher. Of course, it's still on iTunes, still on Google Music. You could listen to it directly on Shout Engine.
Yep. Or whatever podcast app you use.
Yes. But if you do use iTunes, or actually any of these, just go on and give us a review, and then drop us a line, and I'll send you some stickers.
Yes.
And a couple of people already did that, and I
will
will
have stickers.
I will get you stickers. We've just been really busy. Brad and I need to sit down.
Yeah, actually, I did a sticker trade with the guys from Drivers of Imperfect Classic Cars.
Okay.
Because that's our ethos.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I gotta get them some stickers too.
Yep. I did a sticker trade with Yeti Overland, so I need to send him some. So
Perfect.
we'll take care of that. So as always, you can follow the podcast on Facebook, Auto Off Topic Podcast, on Instagram, Auto Off Topic. You can follow my Instagram, Raised in Anger. There's tons of Radwood stuff in there right now. And Brad?
You can follow me on my Instagram as the DWA guys call me every time I ask a question. TSIS350, which is TSISS350.
Did you tell them how to say it?
I totally forgot about that, and that was my immediate regret on the airplane on the way home. I was like, man, I was hanging out with Warren and Art and Lane and all the dudes and Ryan, and it's like, and I didn't even tell them how to say my name properly. But whatever.
I'll tell you what I did do because I'm such an awkward person. I was under the Corvette with Brian. I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm Andrew from Auto Off Topic." He's like, "Oh, okay, man."
Oh, you're working on his car?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's really funny. Yeah, those guys are super awesome. I mean, the Clutch Kick guys are awesome. Those guys are awesome.
Manuel,
And the Tub guys are
Manuel
awesome.
Carrillo the third.
Yeah, MC3.
So
Awesome guy.
he was live streaming us fixing the Corvette on Corvette forums.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not know that.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
So anyway,
the Radwood stories, we could fill like 9 podcasts with them, so we have to stop.
so we're calling this one "Keep Your Cars Analog."
Calling it rad.